All right. Now we're good. Took a minute, but we got there. We got there. Let's load in to our semifinals. The Terran versus Zerg side of the bracket. Going to Neo Humanity for game one. And we can go ahead and just join our players here. Hop on in, as they might say, as I might say. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner, we have the Red Zerg player for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It is Dark, 2019 WCS World Champion of StarCraft 2. His opponent in the lower right-hand corner, representing Team NV, it is the Blue Terran, Cure. This should be a banger. A barn burner, as they say. A bit of a slobber knocker is what I'm really hoping for. But I think we should at least get a very nice series out of these two. Dark is going to be a bit of a favorite here, as he puts down an early pool. This could be mostly for a proxy racks defense. I don't know if Cure's been proxy raxing a lot lately in this matchup. But Dark's been looking pretty dang solid lately. I will say he's not been looking maybe his best form, right? I don't think we're at peak Dark right now. He always looks strong, but I think he's a little bit below his peak form. I think we'll probably see an upswing from him in the next few months. Cure is looking pretty solid. He's generally a very solid player. And fairly consistent. He's one of those, like, often one of the best Terrans in the world, but never really the best Terran in the world. Usually he's down maybe like rank 3, rank 5 Terran in the world, but very consistent. He's been there for quite a few years. Overall, pretty solid player. Should give us a very nice series here. It is just a best of 3. This is the semifinals, but currently in the ESL Open Cup, it's just best of 3. Yeah, quick queen. No lings. Oh, no, there are lings. I was like, there's no lings. What is going on? The streamer just wasn't paying attention. Reaper is not that far away, but definitely going to have to come home to help deal with these lings. Marine's getting jumped on in the main base. Some SCVs will get pulled here. It looks like the CC will continue being built, though, as will the factory. So these lings are being annoying. They're going to grab the Marine, but Cure not losing any build time on both of those buildings is very ideal. As I say that, 2 more lings show up. This is going to force another SCV down. Really trying to get that SCV. Does delay the buildings a little bit. So those next 2 lings, I would say well worth the extra investment. Overall, was it really worth it, though? I don't know. I'm going to say no. But I think Dark knows what he's doing better than I do, so I think he's got to be pretty okay with that. He got, what, a couple SCV kills? Nah, just the one. I think he was maybe hoping for another one. 1 or 2 more SCVs would have been well worth it. But he's got a 3rd base up already. He's mining out the gold minerals in between. And it's a lot of, like, the early pool like that. It's a bit of a tempo move more than anything, right? It puts the ball in Dark's court, or I guess it puts the ball in Cure's court. So he's got to respond now a little bit. What do you do against a player that early pools? Do you try to punish it? Do you just let it go to a macro game? Dark is up quite a few workers now. Might have messed up Cure's build just a little bit. Timing's a little bit off. But overall, it's not really going to do too much. A couple of Hellions coming out already. I think mostly for Dark, it's just to try to change up that early game a little bit. So it's not just the same thing every single time. Hellion's going to dive in. It's just 2 Hellions. I really don't like this choice. And they get 1 drone. That is the least worth it thing. Because that's 200 minerals for 50. The Queens just absolutely demolished them. And a big part of having Hellions out is you get that map control, but if you just keep losing your Hellions, he's going to dive these ones in as well. He just goes straight for it. Oh my god, and a bit of a misclick there. Goes right on the queen. He's going to get one more drone. At least these Hellions escape. But this could give some Lings a little bit more free roam. There are no Lings currently out on the map for Dark, but does he actually have Ling speed? No, he doesn't. Never mind. Lings are not going to have free reign anywhere because there aren't going to be any Lings. It is just pure queens. 7 queens out right now. Man, this is actually one of those situations where if Cure had done something a little bit more aggressive than just build a few Hellions and try to send them in for some drones, he could have been in such a good spot. Like, you never really know it, but something like Cyclones here would have been just so good. As it is, Hellion Banshee, queens very easily deflect those units. Lings certainly do help, but it looks like this Banshee is just going to kind of chill over here. Hellions, in the meantime, getting pushed back by these queens. They're going to kill some creep tumors. There's still things Cure can do, but it's not likely to get big game ending damage here, especially as the roaches are out now. Hellions really can't stick around with the roaches nearby. But Cure doesn't need to get a lot of damage done. He's got a decent worker count. He's got his 3rd base down here. I think he was just hoping for a little bit more damage. It's only been 4 drones going down so far. Fairly uneventful game. Banshee's going to try to dive in here. Where's the detection? I don't even see. Oh, you know what? It must have been out of cloak. I was like, how did he kill that? I think it might not have been cloaked. Hellions are going to kill quite a few creep tumors here. It could kill the whole little section. Cure's got to be pretty happy with that. That's definitely part of their job, is to kill those creep tumors. And of course, the follow-up here is going to be stim combat shields and 1-1. Cure just moving on to Marine tank. Dark sticking with roaches, but is going to get Ling speed, along with this 1-1 for the roachers. Ooh, some roaches are in a great position to deal with these Hellions. The Hellions are going to get a few drones, but I feel like they needed more. 9 drones is not bad. Not really worth that many Hellions, but the Hellions weren't doing anything at this point anyways. A lot of times I don't like when the Terran just loses the Hellions like that, but against roaches, as Dark gets like a good army up, those Hellions just aren't going to be really useful at all. They're just going to kind of hang out around outside the creep and eventually die anyways. They might as well dive in, get a few drones. These Marines definitely have some potential here. They grab a few roaches that were heading towards the watchtower. They are going to pull Dark back here. I think that was the Banshee going down. Going to pull Dark off to this side. Here has a lot of siege tanks coming up. Tanks are going to be fantastic against roaches. Dark knows that, so he's building these things called Ravagers, which are pretty good against tanks. It looks like Dark wants to go for a fight. I don't know, Cure's pretty well set up against this. He does need to bring this army back, though, to try to handle it. He doesn't have a ton of Marines here. And the Ravagers are going to start biling down the tanks. One tank goes down. The second tank taking a little bit of damage, but doing quite a lot as well. As those Marines clean up the left side, they need to come back and clean up the right side. The Biles do take out all of the tanks, so all 3 siege tanks are gone. But not a ton of Roach Ravager left. The Marines are actually going to be able to fight against that pretty well, straight up. A lot of the Ravagers on the left side died. That's a bit painful. 7 Ravagers is a lot of money. We see the trades are a bit in Cure's favor, but it is mostly the gas that is the difference there. And that comes down to the Ravagers dying. One more siege tank out, but it's just the one right now, so it's just going to be almost purely Marine against this, and not a great start to the fight for Cure. He's got reinforcements coming out, he's pulling SCVs, but it feels like this might just be too much Roach Ravager here. Can this Roach Ravager actually win the fight? Biles are going to be pretty solid. Not really hitting, but forcing these Marines to constantly split. 15 SCVs have already gone down. Liberator siege up and just get biled down immediately. And Cure's in a lot of trouble right now. I don't know if he's got enough to hold on. Another siege tank comes out, but the Biles are starting to hit the Marines. The tank gets one shot off and then dies. More SCVs getting pulled, but guys, Dark just has too much. And I thought this was going to be a close series. Cure.
Replay saved.
Oh my god. Sorry, that scared me. Cure just kind of got bopped on that one. I will close that program, which really likes to tell us when the replay is saved. Thank you so much, SC Light. It is, to be fair, a very good program. Whoever made it, big shout out to them. Very good for replay packs, which we have from the KSL. If you check out the KSL Patreon, you can be a patron. And just for $5 a month, or any amount of money that you can spare to help Korean StarCraft, can get replays from some of the best Korean players known to man. Anyways, speaking of some good Korean players, let's get into game 2 here. And I hope it's a little bit closer than game 1, because game 1 felt pretty one-sided, as this man just absolutely dominated it. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Gresfan, we have Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Dark. And of course, his opponent in the lower right needs to give us some hope for the Terran Dominion. It is Team NV's Cure. Again, Dark is definitely the favorite in this match, but I do feel like Cure can maybe do better than that. I feel like he might be kicking himself a little bit in that last game, but it did feel tough to hold on against Dark there. Dark with the big split on that first Roach Ravager attack and really prioritizing killing the tanks, biling them down on both sides. And it's so important because it gives Cure a lot less of a foothold on the defense. And you end up with just Marines against Roach Ravager. And Marines are okay against Roach Ravager. They're not bad. But that tank support is so important. And also positioning. And it was just so hard for Cure to get good positioning. We saw a lot of those fights where the Marines in the back weren't shooting. A lot of times in those fights, the Marines in the back were just doing nothing. They were herping around. It really hurt Cure. And eventually Dark is just able to overwhelm. Cure's going to SCV scout this game, and the Lings actually kind of go on that SCV for a little bit longer than I expected. But Cure now knows exactly what's coming his way. Reaper's going to go out because he knows where the Lings are. We can go straight up to the Lings and start working on them early. Dark is, of course, going to try to pull these Lings back, but out in the middle of the map like this, it is tough for Dark to take anything of a trade here. He is. I love using the little Fog of War, but this means that the Lings aren't doing what they're supposed to do, which is get across the map and kill those SCVs like last game. They ended up doing pretty well, but now the Reaper is literally just going to kill every single one of them. And in the meantime, this Marine has almost killed this to the point where I actually think lifting the CC when it finishes to kill that is worth it. Cure's going to go back into his base, though. He's building a bunker. He thinks there's roaches on the way. There are not. There are not. He's going to go scout now with the Reaper. I really still... I mean, I love this from Cure. I love how safe he's being. Dark is definitely the kind of person that would put a Roach Warren down behind this. But he's going to scout just how many drones there are, and I think he's probably going to cancel that bunker. Yep, there it goes. No more bunker. I really would not hate to see him lift the CC just to kill this Overlord. It's so little HP. Oh, he's going to float the barracks all the way over. I guess he did just land a mule. But he will kill this. And I think that's worth it. It's going to force Dark to build another Overlord. Dark's actually going to be supply blocked. No, he won't be. Never mind. Well, maybe he will be now. Yep, there it is. Supply blocked. And he doesn't have another Overlord started. He still doesn't have another Overlord started. Oh my god, Dark. No, Dark. All right, finally that Overlord starts, but now he's got a supply block on the Queen. Can't build any drones. Super painful for Dark. Actually, like the worst. I think he would have been supply blocked anyways. So this is like the worst possible timing for Dark. Finally, he gets those units able to start. But yeah, that's brutal. This is actually a great start for Cure now. Look at how much he's killed. He did lose the Reaper, which is a bit unfortunate. But it doesn't even really matter that much. Dark might try to put some pressure on here. Nah, there's 4 Hellions out. Dark just needs to defend back at home for now. That's Hellions and Banshees. Ooh, you know what? That last game, now that I think about it, it is really a shame that Cure lost both of those Banshees before the Roach Ravager attack happened. Imagine 2 Banshees sitting on top of those Roaches and Ravagers. That would actually have been probably a hold. Now that I think about it, the reason you see Terrans build Banshees in pretty much every game is explicitly to deal with Roach Ravager attacks. The Lings do try to get in here as the Hellions move out on the map, but Cure's got 4 back at home. He reacts in time. And now these Lings might actually be in a bit of trouble here, as they're caught between a Hellion and a hot place, as it were. A couple Lings do go down. They sneak out of there. Turns out they're really fast. +1 Carapace on the way for Dark. Carapace usually implies some sort of big attack, but with no Roach Warren, it's kind of an interesting choice. Lings found again by the Hellions. A couple more go down. See a scan to take down some of these creep tumors. Queens will be able to push the Hellions back this time. But Cure is in such a better spot. Just take a look at this versus last game. When Cure landed his 3rd last game, he was down 20 workers. He was at like 50, but Dark was just chilling at 70 already. This game, much, much closer worker count. And that's because Dark was forced to make these other Lings. He made a bunch more Lings to try to get across the map, and he just ended up not getting it done. This, though, is really, really sick for Dark. He is going to lose a lot of Lings here. The Hellions need to trade as well as possible, but the big surround, Dark was just laying in wait, had great positioning on those Lings. He lost a ton, but to kill those Hellions, I'd say it's well worth it. He can drone with complete impunity now. There were some Banshees made, and the Banshees are going to dive in here. They can get some damage done, but Lings aren't really going to help there. So again, trading those Lings out to get the Hellions, so nice. Banshees will be annoying, but I doubt they'll really get too much done. Whoop, transfusing that Queen just in time. Nice micro from Cure, keeping these Banshees alive. Looks like he might try to get a couple more drones. He's going to get those Marines out on the map. This is, again, just such a better position for Cure than last game. And let's see where Dark is going. Dark going for double macro hatch. He's now got +1 melee on the way, and he drops an infestation pit. I don't know where Dark is going. He doesn't have a Banus. He literally has no other tech. He's going straight from a spawning pool to an infestation pit. He's got +1 melee and +2 Carapace on the way, but it's just Lings and Queens right now, and he is very far out of position to deal with this. The Lings, again, though, pretty speedy. They will get here in time to force this away. The Marines just trading for a while against this. I guess they're happy to take that trade, but... Oh, Marine's going to try to drop out behind the mineral line here. I don't really like this from Cure. Lings have a little bit too much surface area. Cure going to have to pick up and get out of there. Cure's going for a push, though. He is up army supply. He's up total supply. He's got a really solid worker count. I don't think he has a 4th base just yet. There's actually not even a 4th CC in production. So he does feel pretty committed to this 3-base push right now without a 4th behind this. But he wants to put some pressure on. Again, it is just Lings for Dark. These Lings have +1 Carapace, but 1/1 is done for Cure. And Cure is starting to really just kill Queens. Okay, the Bane Nest is done. I'm almost positive there is no Bane speed. It isn't even started yet. The Lings are going to get a full surround. They kill the tanks, but the Marines with 1/1 absolutely dominate the Lings. The lack of Banes here is so painful. Dark No Bane's speed. How does he win this? I don't know that he does. I think Cure's just going to have too much. Cure not targeting down the Banes, but the Banes take so long to hit the Marines. The Marines just split. A new tank shows up. It's going to siege up. Lings might be able to get on top of this. The medevac energy is quite low. The Marine count seems to be dwindling, but as reinforcements show up, Cure just has too much, and Dark will be forced to tap out. Cure ties the series up and shows us that game one, maybe a bit of a fluke. Turns out he's pretty damn good at the game. He's going to give us a game 3, which I'm very happy about. I was a little bit worried after game 1, but yeah, much better game 2 from Dark. I think the SCV scout there is so crucial. It's so crucial because both games Dark did an early pull to send Lings across the map and try to be annoying. In game 1, they were very annoying. Didn't feel like they got a lot done, but it did feel like enough to throw Cure off a little bit. It allowed Dark to just drone like crazy, super delay on the Ling speed, so it was just Queens defending, and that worked perfectly. In game 2, those Lings barely did anything. In fact, they did absolutely nothing. It was a great opening for Cure, and he was able to just roll with that into a win. So both players seem to be taking their early game momentum and just very solidly snowballing that into a good late game. Let's see how it goes in game 3. We're here on Royal Blood, spawning in the lower left-hand corner. It is our red Zerg player. Not putting down an early pool just yet. For Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it is Dark. It looks like it is going to be Hatch first. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner, representing Team NV, it's the Blue Terran, Cure. He must have forgotten the Bane Nest. Yeah, I don't know if Dark forgot the Bane Nest or he thought he could just hold without it. Maybe he thought Cure would just harass with like medevacs full of Marines. We saw that the first set of 16 Marines that Cure sent out, Lings did pretty okay against. They were able to push it away. They don't trade great against it, but yeah, I don't know if he just thought he could deal with it with Lings and Queens. He was going straight into a hive. It just felt very weird out of Dark. But yeah, I guess there is a very good chance he just completely forgot to drop his Bane Nest. Dark is the kind of player where I don't expect the crispest of builds. Like, his builds are definitely not the crispiest in the world, right? But that's not where Dark's strengths lie. We saw in game 1, Dark's really good at just being like, ooh, I'm gonna poke, I'm gonna prod, and oh, I'm just suddenly so far ahead. and then from there he's like, I'll just build Roaches and Ravagers. Game 1's a perfect example of a Dark game. Kind of a weird opener. He ends up significantly further ahead than you'd expect, builds Roaches and Ravagers, and wins the game. Classic Dark build. But in game 2, maybe the build didn't work out for him. The lack of Bane Nest, a little bit painful. Game 3, though, we have a very standard game so far. We'll just have to keep an eye on what everybody's doing. 6 Lings out here for Dark. Maybe a little bit worried about second Reaper showing up or something. Or just wants to make sure to push this one away. It is Gentleman Jack behind me on the shelf. Yep. My coworker gave me that, actually. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge Gentleman Jack fan. I drink a lot of Jack Daniels. I am a big fan of Jack Daniels. Mixed with Coca-Cola. And I like a really good whiskey. Like, I have some Lagavulin back there as well. But Gentleman Jack is kind of like right in the in-between those two things. I'm not a huge fan of it. But, again, my coworker gave me the bottle. I'm going to throw it away. Put it on the shelf. Drink it every now and then. That's how you do it. Pretty standard 3cc opening here from Cure. Everything is as it should be here. The Overlord went down. I missed that. I missed the Overlord going down. This must have been a little bit too close to the Marines again. Another Banshee opener. I feel like against Dark, unless you're playing some really bold builds, you pretty much always have to, in a standard game, open up with Banshees. Dark is just way too prone to building a bunch of Roach Ravager to kill you. And I realized, again, in game 1, that, yep, the Roach Ravagers successfully killed Cure, probably because there was no Banshees left. The Banshees were dead. You really got to keep them alive against Dark, because once that Roach Ravager attack starts, having the Banshees work on those units over the course of that whole game, they would have gotten a lot of kills, and Dark would not have been able to be quite so aggressive during those fights against the Marines. I think the Banshees might have made a big difference there for Cure. Would the game have gone in his favor? Maybe not, but it's an important role the Banshees play in whittling down Roaches and Ravagers. Don't see a Roach Warren yet for Dark, though. I feel like he might be more Lingbane focused from this point on. He's got the double Evo chamber coming up right now. Telling your coworker, hey, my coworker gave me a free bottle of whiskey, all right? I mean, honestly, we don't work together anymore. He left. Gave me a bottle of whiskey on his last day. He gave me a bottle of whiskey on his last day. What a nice guy. It's like what I was supposed to get him. We only worked together for like 7 months. Good dude. Shout out to Matt. All right, Banshee's going to hop on in here. There are 3 queens in the main. There's a Spore Crawler. The Dark should be able to push these away, but 3 drones going down. Cure might be able to get a little bit of scout with these as well and just see what units are around. It sees where the Evo chambers are. But he's going to have to run away as the Banshees run out of cloak here. Hellions and Reapers going to move out as well as he starts to get into Marine tank medevac. This is looking very similar to game 1 for Cure. It's also looking pretty similar to game 2 for Cure. It is just such standard play. Dark is getting into the Bane Nest now, but it's not quite ready yet, so the Lings are going to have to get a good position on these Hellions. Like they were trying to get the surround in case the Hellions dove in, but Cure not committing. He's just going to pull on back. Banshees could actually work on this base if Cure realizes it's here. Hey, there you go. Yeah, and the Queens are going to be too far away, I think, to save this. They can't transfuse it. This is off creep. The Banshees have cloak available, and there's no Overseer. There it is. It's super far away. Oh, Banshee's going to try to take a bit of a fight. Oh my god, no transfuse off creep. Oh, Banshee's doing a really good job this game. This is what we were looking for in game 1 from Cure, and it just wasn't quite there. Look at the trades. Excellent, excellent trades for Cure. And again, we see the worker count is so much closer. Dark is on Ling Bane. He wants a huge worker count. Oh, he's going to spot this. Tanks are in the back. Cure needs to be super careful. There's a huge surround of Lings coming for him. The Hellions are with this, though, so I feel like the Lings aren't going to be able to jump on this. They turn into Hellbats. The tanks are unsieged, but I don't know if that actually matters too much. Cure might still be able to win this fight. Banelings smash into the Hellbats, though, and that will be the end of this little push here. The Lings will clean the rest of this up. It looks like the tank will get away, and that is it. That is what Dark wanted to happen last game. Remember last game? Where Cure just won the fight against the Lings like 3 times in a row. Dark didn't, those fights didn't go the way Dark expected them to in game 2. But now here we are, game 3. Going much, much better for Dark. He's gonna get another big surround here, just whittle away these units, grabs another tank. Gonna force Cure to lift up and go back into his 3rd. Cure is taking a 4th, but now he's not out on the map, and Dark's got to be feeling a lot better about his position here. The Banshees are once again going to work on this base. This time it's finished, so it can get transfused. Overseer's speed, though, is not done yet. So the transfuses are going to have to hold on while these Overseers make their way across. This base being kind of low might be a bit of a target for Cure. He might try to push on this location, but it's a little bit tough to get down here. He's got to be so careful of these Links and Banes. But it's just Marines moving out. They have a lot of medevacs, so they can pick up and maneuver around as necessary. They're just going to try to trade as much as possible. There was the one Baneling flank that actually did kind of okay. Planetary is done over at this base. Dark is spotting that. He knows the Planetary is there. Need a lot of Banes to smash the Planetary. I think 19 Banes kills it. If you have even more Banes than that, you can kill all the SCVs too. So many Lings out of Dark. I'm surprised we're not seeing any like Widow Mines come out. It's just pure tank out of Cure. Dark getting into Hive now. He's got Vipers on the way. Adrenal Glands is nearly done. 2-2 is nearly done for both players. Cure just trying to find something out on the map here, but Dark is not letting him. Like some creep tumors have been cleared up. And yeah, I mean, a lot of Lings have died. Oh, as I say that, a hatch goes down. I saw that hatch pop up, so that wasn't a cancel either. Cure finally finding some nice damage. Gets a cute little position here as well, but probably going to want to pick up. He gets 3 Marines out of there. But still, he has been trading quite nicely. Almost 2,000 resources different here. Which is pretty important because the mining has been a little bit Dark favored, but it has been quite close for the majority of the game. Cure's actually up on workers right now. He doesn't have the 5th base situated though, and Dark is actually on 6 right now with the 7th restarted. He is trying to take every single base on his side of the map. Cure is all the way out here. He is putting a lot of pressure on these fringe bases. And Dark, again, out of position. He's going to be forced to cancel. At least that time he gets the cancel. Cure trying to target down the Banes. Gets one. Then you're going to have to lift up and get on out. Oh, this is cute. On the wrong side of the wall. Lings and Banes will circle around, but getting a little bit of damage done there. Banshee's being annoying as well. Dark has a ton of army on the top side, though. He's going to take this gold base. That feels like a bold move. Now looks like the Banshees will finally bite the dust after doing a lot of damage this game. Dark's going to take both gold bases. I feel like this one's in a wrong spot, but no, he's here to defend this one. Banelings get great connections. 1 Marine gets saved. The other side of the map. Ooh, another good Baneling connection. Kills a handful of Marines. Cure really trying to find something, and Dark is just not letting him. Cure's established a 5th base, though. He himself is getting into Ghost. He's got Blue Flame on the way. Blue Flame. That is such an interesting choice. Medevac's going down here. Cure. Holy how many tanks? Cure's on 12 tanks. He's getting Blue Flame. Is he building more factories? He's got like 1 more here. Oh no, there's a couple more. Okay, they're peppered around. So he's up to 4 factories right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see him lift some of these barracks off. Build a couple more factories on these add-ons even. So he's switching into Ghost Mech. This is a full switch for Cure. His 3-3 is about to finish for his bio, but he's got +1 armor and +2 attack already done for his mech unit. So he's hard switching into mech and just gonna play pure defensive late game TVZ. It looks like Dark has started to realize exactly what he's up against. Maybe he knew this was coming because he's played against Cure. He's got a Greater Spire on the way. He's got Corruptors on the way. He is gonna start putting on some pressure with Broodlords. Broodlords have gotten a change kind of recently. I haven't seen a lot of late game with them, but I think they are quite nice here. With the Ghost change on the snipe range, and with the Broodlord change on their speed, I actually think Broodlords do quite a bit better in late game against Terran. Broodling's still going to be quite strong against siege tanks. Cure definitely needs to take more bases, so he's got the top side base coming up here. He's might want to try to establish this gold base. It's going to be a little bit tough, but I think it is possible. And he just killed another medevac. I mean, medevac's not going to be the most useful thing to have out in this situation. Dark's army is kind of insane looking right now. He's got the Broodlords. He's got the Infestors. He's going to start shelling these tanks down. Their own friendly fire as the Broodlings hit them. A couple of tanks going down immediately. Cure's ghosts are nearby. He does have a Thor or two. Of course, yoinks are a possibility here, as are fungals from the Infestors. He's going to start yoinking Liberators. Liberators are really nice against the Broodlings because they just kind of one-shot them. As those Broodlings come down, they get bopped by the Liberators. And yoinking those really makes Dark's position a little bit better, and there's no mining going on at this base right now. That's really, really important. I have not heard a single snipe here as Dark's sieged up this base. Cure not confident enough to move in for those snipes just yet. Again, needs to be super careful against the fungals. Ooh. Good transfuse. Keeps the Infestor alive. Infestor does die. Gets a little fungal off. Not a very crazy fungal. More ghosts coming out. Cure just trying to hold this base alive, mostly for the positioning. Obviously, the mining is going to be important as well. But he has that top base. I'd love to see him try to take this one over to the right, but he's just too focused on this right now. Transfuse is going down on the Broodlords. Dark is such an expert at this kind of really high-tech army. But the high-tech army is just a portion. Look at this Ling Bane force. How many Banelings? 67 Banes, 70 Lings. This base is big dead. This base is big dead. He needs to get the Banelings over there, but I mean, these are just dead bases. Only 3 SCVs go down during all this, but yeah, 2 bases being killed here. Cure will be able to replace them fairly quickly, but not with planetaries, and that's going to be a bit of a problem. In the meantime, the high-tech army is still over here. They still have some Lingbane support as well. It looks like Cure's going to try to take a bit of a fight as he moves forward, but he gets double fungaled on a lot of the bio, and the Broodlings are starting to hit. Banelings coming in, a third fungal. Huge blinding clouds. Lings and Banes from the back. Dark takes a beautiful fight and absolutely clobbers Cure's army that was trying to push out a little bit, and now Cure's going to lose yet another base. Ooh, looks like it might stay alive. The Banelings are morphing. I think the Banes are just going to come in here and smash this in a minute. In the meantime, Broodlings are forcing not only repair on this base, but no mining on this base. A nuke goes down. Are we going to see this nuke connect? Dark's going to try to focus down the ghost. He gets it. He says, I am not solar. I will not be nuked on my Broodlords. Not today. Banes are going to go in and try to get on top of this mining. He's already stopping the mining over here. Ling's going in the backside. Another tank going down. This base is under fire. Cure's desperately trying to hold on. Does get a couple of snipes off. Actually, some of these Broodlords going down, but the Banelings from the backside gonna smash in, and down goes the planetary. Cure has so little left. Dark is losing a lot here, but he builds 4 Ultras and 42 Lings, and he goes back up to 185 supply. I think Cure's actually gonna hold on here. It looks like the Thors are going to punch through. The ground army has died, but 55 SCVs are dead. Cure has no mining at his 4th, has no mining at his 5th. His 3rd base is almost empty. His natural's gone of minerals. The main's gone of everything. Cure has basically nothing, and Dark has 76 drones. His entire half of the map is his. Look at this resource collection rate. Over 3,000 resources a minute more for Dark. Cure's going to mule hammer the crap out of this base and try to suck up as many minerals as possible. But this is going to be a tough one for Cure because Dark can just keep remaking these goofy-ass looking Ultras, Lings, and Banes. Now we're at the point where he doesn't need high tech. He just needs stuff. And he is going to send the stuff forward, and Cure is just not going to be able to handle this. There's no planetary here. Snipes are great and all, but there's just too much Dark. GG gets called. Dark takes the 2-1 victory over Cure. and moves on to the grand finals. What an expert late game ZVT from Dark. He knew everything he needed to do, and he did it. Beautiful.